I'm Charles with Gildenson and Company, and I am here to talk about property taxes in Texas and why they are so high. So, one of the common questions we get, it's no secret that there's a lot of people moving to Texas, who, by the way, we love all of them that are moving to the great state of Texas. It's a great place to live, raise a family, and work. So, you may be curious as you buy a house here if you're from out of state or if you're a new home buyer, first time home buyer in Texas, why property taxes are so high. Fundamentally, there's two main reasons. So, we're a state that assesses every year. So, it's based on the fair market value of your home on January 1st of each year. And so, with doing that, especially over the last few years, you've seen very volatile real estate markets where there's high increases year to year. And so those new assessments increase quite a bit. I think, as the real estate market softens up, you will see your property taxes stabilize. But it's based on the fair market value. So if your value is going up, you can expect your property taxes to go up. Likewise, if your values go down, you can expect your property taxes to go down. So the yearly assessment is the first reason. The second reason is that counties use a mass appraisal method to determine your value. So if you think about there's 254 counties in Texas. I mean, if you really even want to think about the metros, the few dozen metro counties, they're assessing millions of properties with a staff of people and programs and algorithms. They're not going in and appraising your house like a third-party appraiser would. And so there's inherently built-in error to that mass appraisal method. So most of the time your appraisal is off. And so that is why, if you look at people who don't protest, there could be years and years worth of error built up in the value, and the county may not even know about it. So as a property tax owner, you have the right to protest every year. Smart homeowners do that. They either do it with us or they do it with another company or on their own. But it's a yearly maintenance, no matter how you approach it, because it is reassessed every year. Now, there's also exemptions on top of that for primary household owners, called a homestead exemption. It helps limit the increase to 10% in a given year. It also applies credits to the taxing jurisdictions for being your homestead. There's also a new law implementing in 2024 that limits non-homesteads under $5 million to 20% increases. So still 10% and 20% in our view is a lot of increase. But given the last 3 years, you've seen increases that are quite a bit more than that. So that's why you hear a lot about it in the news and from your neighbors that property taxes are out of control in Texas. But as the real estate market, as inflation comes down, you will see stabilization in your property taxes. Actually, one of the most important times to protest is when there's volatility. So you see the high increases, you see the strong decreases in the market. But then as things kind of become more normal and boring, typically when you go in and protest, you're saving about 6%, 8% or so on your tax bill, which for some people can be hundreds or even thousands of dollars a year. And that's why they hire a firm like us to look at it and go in and represent them. Texas also has high tax rates. So they're always in the top 5 in the country in tax rates, on top of, having high assessments because it's a popular place to live. But the tax rates typically average a little over 2%. In some metropolitan areas, it's higher than 3%. Some rural areas, it's in the low 1%. But the tax rate isn't something that you can protest. It's something you can't vote on locally in your jurisdictions, but it's a very regulated tax rate. And that's how Texas funds a lot of local government, because there isn't a state income tax. Counties have different sales taxes, but property tax is the generator of the revenue. So with those three things, that's the reason why you hear property taxes are high. By no means it's not a turnoff of owning a property here. It's just the reality of, okay, if you own a property, you're going to have to deal with property taxes, and you're going to want to protest them as well. Protest may sound like a scary word, but it's a routine yearly thing that our firm does for you to suppress that value. Now, if you have a tax assessment value that you think it's great that you have a tax assessment value of 800,000 and you only bought your house for 600,000, well, educated buyers in our market know that that's not the true market value of their property at 800, because it's a mass appraised value. That would actually make your house less valuable when you go to sell it, because you have an inflated tax assessment. No one wants to pay more taxes just to pay more taxes. So they protest it. They go in, lean into appraisal methods to bring that down. So it is really important to know all of this. You don't have to be an expert in it. You can hire someone that goes in and puts it in autopilot, just like you do for insurance and other things of owning a property. If you're in Texas, you just have to know that property taxes are a real part of owning your home, and probably your largest expense of owning your home. So you can sign up with us online for free. We charge a small percentage of the savings on your tax bill if we're successful. You can go to gildenson.com and we'd be happy to help you.